You've been lying in the same position for 19 hours. You haven't moved. You haven't blinked more than you had to. You've urinated into a tube taped to your leg because standing up means dying. 1,000 meters away, through a scope the size of your forearm, a man you've never met is eating breakfast on a balcony. He has no idea these are the last few minutes of his life. The wind shifts. You feel it on the back of your neck before you see the grass move. You adjust. A fraction of a degree. You breathe out slow until your lungs are almost empty. Between heartbeats, in the stillness, your finger takes up the slack. One shot, one life, and then you become a ghost in the landscape, gone before the sound even finishes traveling. This is the world of the Black Ops sniper, and almost none of it looks like the movies. This is what it's like, from the very first day to the very last. You're a soldier with a good eye and a quiet streak. You shoot well, better than most. So you put in for sniper school, and you think that's the hard part. It isn't. The hard part is realizing how little your good eye actually matters. Sniping isn't about pulling a trigger, it's about everything before the trigger. Math, patience, the ability to lie perfectly still while your body screams. Most of the men who think they want this wash out in the first weeks, when they discover that the romance of the rifle is actually hours of brutal boredom, punctuated by seconds of impossible pressure. You scrape through the selection. They hand you a rifle and a partner and tell you the truth. No recruiting poster mentions, a sniper isn't a shooter. A sniper is a thinker who occasionally shoots. You don't celebrate, you've only made it to the starting line. Sniper school breaks people. Not physically, mentally. You learn ballistics, which is a polite word for math you do in your head while exhausted and terrified. How far is the target? How fast is the wind, and from which direction? And does it change halfway to the target? Is the air hot or cold, thick or thin? How much will the Earth's own spin pull your bullet sideways over a long enough shot? Every one of these is a calculation, and getting one wrong means missing or worse, hitting the wrong thing. You learn to build a hide, a hidden position you can lie in for days. They teach you to disappear into a field so completely that an instructor can walk within a few feet of you and never know you're there. You fail this again and again. You moved. You left a shadow. Your rifle barrel caught the light. Start over. You learn the hardest skill of all, stillness. Lying motionless for 12, 18, 20 hours. No stretching. No scratching the itch. Controlling your breathing, your heartbeat, your mind, while every instinct begs you to move. You graduate near the top. You think you're a sniper now. You're about to find out you're a beginner with a certificate. Your first real deployment. And here's the first surprise. You're not alone, and you're not the most important person on your own team. You work in a pair. There's you, the shooter, and your spotter. And the spotter is the brains. He reads the wind, calls the distance, watches for threats, and tells you when to fire. You're holding the rifle, but he's running the shot. You learn to trust him completely, because in this world, your partner is the only person who can keep you alive. You also learn that the rifle is your last tool, not your first. Most of what a sniper team does isn't shooting at all. It's watching. You spend days hidden on a hillside, reporting everything: who comes and goes, how many, what they carry, which building they sleep in. You are the eyes of the entire operation. The information you send back is worth more than any single shot you'll ever take. When you finally do take a shot, it's nothing like training. A real person. A real life ending in your scope. You do the job. And then you carry it home with you. Every night. For the rest of your life. You've proven yourself. So they give you the job that everyone else's life depends on. Overwatch. When an assault team kicks down a door, when they cross open ground when they're at their most exposed, you're the unseen eye above them watching everything they can't. A rooftop. A ridge. A window half a mile away. You see the ambush before they walk into it. You see the man on the far roof reaching for a weapon. You see the danger that the men on the ground focused on the door in front of them will never spot in time. Your job is to protect them. And it means living with a terrible kind of pressure, because if you miss something, men die. Not the enemy, your men. The ones whose families you'll have to think about forever if you fail. You take shots that save lives. You also take the weight of every life you couldn't save. The Overwatch sniper is a guardian angel with a rifle, and angels don't get to sleep at night. Now they pull you out of the regular units and into something darker. The work that has no patch, no record, no acknowledgement. You go in alone, or near it, deep into places your country isn't supposed to be. No uniform, No flag on your shoulder. If you're caught, no one is coming, and no one will admit you were ever there. The shooting is the smallest part. You spend most of your time being someone else entirely, moving through a foreign city or a hostile countryside without drawing a single glance. You build your own hide with no team to help. You read your own wind. You make your own calls. The spotter who used to be your brain, gone. Now it's just you and the math and the silence. The shots get harder and the consequences get heavier. A single bullet that changes a battle. A single life that, removed at the right moment, saves hundreds. The decisions that used to be made by commanders now sometimes rest on you alone, in the dirt, 1,000 meters out, with no one to share the weight. You're not a soldier anymore. You're a ghost with a rifle. And ghosts are very, very alone. This is the level the legends are made of. The shot that shouldn't be possible. The target is so far away that the bullet will be in the air for several seconds before it arrives, long enough that you're not aiming at where he is, but at where he will be. Long enough that the curve of the earth, the spin of the planet, the changing wind across 2 kilometers of open ground all become part of a calculation no computer in your pocket can fully solve for you. You've trained your whole career for a shot like this, and you may take only one in your entire life. You lie in your hide for days waiting for the single moment when everything aligns, the target in the open, the wind steady, the light right. When it comes, the whole world narrows to a single point. You stop thinking about the math is in your bones now. You breathe out, you wait for the pause between heartbeats, and you send a bullet across an impossible distance to arrive at the exact spot, at the exact moment, that a man's life ends. You'll never be able to tell anyone. The shot will become a rumor, a legend whispered among people who do what you do, and you'll carry the truth of it alone. Your body has paid the price. Years of lying motionless in the cold have wrecked your joints. Years of recoil have damaged your hearing. The injuries you ignored have caught up with you. The field is closing its door, so they make you a teacher. You take the next generation, the young soldiers with the good eyes and the quiet streaks, the ones who think shooting is the hard part, and you unmake their illusions one by one. You teach them the math. You teach them the stillness. You teach them to disappear into a field. But the most important thing you teach them, you can't put on a slide. You teach them what it costs. The nights that don't get easier. The faces that don't fade. The marriages that don't survive. You watch their eager faces and you know that some of them won't be able to carry it, and it's better they learn that here than 1,000 meters out, alone when it's too late. The ones who can carry it, you send forward, and you wonder every time whether you're doing them a kindness or a cruelty. You're off the range entirely now. You run the program, you decide who gets in, who washes out, where the teams deploy, which impossible shots get attempted. The weight changes shape. It used to be the weight of a single trigger. Now it's the weight of every trigger pulled by every sniper you've trained and deployed. You send people into places they might not come back from. You make the call on operations that could change the course of a conflict. You sit in rooms with powerful people and tell them quietly what is and isn't possible from 2,000 meters out. Your name isn't on anything. The successes are classified. The failures, if anyone ever found out, would end careers far above your own. You become a man who exists only in the gaps between official records, a coordinator of ghosts. You sleep badly. You always have. But now you carry not just your own shots, but everyone's. One day it ends. Quietly, like everything in this world. There's no parade. No medal you can show anyone. The records of what you did stay sealed for decades, and by the time anyone is allowed to read them, the men who'd understand will be gone. You move somewhere quiet. You try to live a normal life, but part of you never leaves the hide. You still read the wind out of habit when you step outside. You still clock the rooftops, the sight lines, the angles, in every place you go. You still wake before dawn, your body certain there's a shot to take. Your family knows a version of you, not the real one. They can't. The real one is a man who lay in the dirt for days at a time and ended lives across impossible distances for a country that will never be allowed to thank him. That's the trade. That's always been the trade. Somewhere tonight, on a base far from here, a young soldier is cleaning a rifle and dreaming. He's a good shot, better than most. He's quiet. He's patient. He's heard the legends, the impossible shots, the ghosts who change battles with a single breath. He thinks he knows what he's signing up for. He's imagining the rifle, the scope, the perfect shot. He has no idea about the 19 hours of stillness, the math done in fear, the faces that never fade. The way this work hollows you out and fills you back up with silence, but he'll learn. They always do. He'll put in for sniper school thinking the shooting is the hard part, and the cycle begins again.